We're live.
Ah.
So welcome back to Death Saves with Advantage.
Oh,
Again.
wait.
Ah, ah. Wait, what?
Okay, that shouldn't happen now. I still had it. It was taking audio from our Twitch back into the stream, back into
Oh
the Twitch,
no!
back into the stream.
Oh no!
Yep. Should be
Oh
good
no!
now. Actually, it wouldn't have. It would have just been in the recording. It wouldn't have been in the stream.
That's still not something you want.
Nope.
So again, before I was so rudely interrupted by technical difficulties yet again. That's the most common reason that we're interrupted for things. Welcome to this is now session 7, episode 7 of Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. The Moonleaf Family, you had quite the finale to the Dungeon of the Dead 3. And Yinlin also had quite the finale as a character. Do you want to give us a recap?
Sure. Uh, Moonleaf Family. Real quick overall recap because I feel like that's useful. If there's anybody new out there, thanks for watching and listening, or vice one or the other. Um, so Moonleaf Family left their home, has made their way to Baldur's Gate, really large city. Arrived, were immediately recruited into a mercenary group called the Flaming Fist because they looked able, pretty much. We're told that they should investigate the Cult of the Dead 3. Have been learning information about that as they go. At one point, have taken over control that they will probably use in the future. And their adventures led them to a bathhouse, which below the bathhouse was an operating center for this cult. They had another member of the Flaming Fist named Yinlin joining them on the adventure. He helped them clear out the dungeon, only to, as they were leaving, have another group of cultists, unrelated, adorned in masks, dragon masks, show up and attack Yinlin and the family after Yinlin refused to let them discard of the family. How I think of it. And it turns out Yinlin is a part of this other cult, and it kind of double crossed the Flaming Fist, not in his own eyes, but you know.
To each their own.
After that, yeah, yeah, the Moonleafs took with all the things they had found and all the information they had back to Captain Zodge, who, on learning this information, proceeded to thrust his sword through Yinlin's chest and kill him on the spot. Yep. We then,
Yeah.
well, or the party, I should say. We then learned Yinlin appeared to have have his death, accepted and now assisted patron. Certainly not someone nice. And we kind of left it there. It's not necessarily trusting Zodge and not necessarily feeling the greatest about what just happened, but they have some loot, they have some information, and they're surviving.
Yes. And then, real quick, couple things different that you'll notice for those of you watching the stream.
Yeah.
We're trying our hand at a little layout here. And also, as you can tell, it's not just zoomed in. That is a massive D20. We are trying our hand at making a yes, put a regular D20, standard D20 for size comparison. That's so massive. We're trying our hand at a dice cam for when we're streaming. But yeah, there was some conversation to be had down in the Dungeon of the Dead 3. One person in particular, a Mortlock Vanthempur, who said that they knew who the Moonleaf family was, and would go into more detail about why that is once you finish helping them out. However, as you so aptly put in your notes, they did. Because in the final fight at the below the surface, Mortlock passed away. So you could potentially scrounge up some money to bring him back, or at least get some questions answered. But for now, let's go ahead and just play that lovely, lovely theme music here and start rolling some death saves with advantage. We are ready to go now that I am unmuted. So yes, you have some decisions to make as a family, as a group of adventurers, as people with money for a change. As you know, Dungeons and Dragons, it's all about wishful thinking. You actually have money. So what does the Moonleaf family want to do?
Well, had we already made our way to the temple church wherever we revived Violet before?
We had left off in Zaj's office, as he told you to take care of it.
Right. Okay. Well, we will make our way. Bo still lugging along this large body, I suppose.
Yes.
To the temple.
The temple you went to previously was the Temple of Bahamut, near in this lower portion of the lower city.
Perfect.
And as you go in, the the cleric that helped you bring Violet back, sees your group and just has a look of not again. And then a bit of shock seeing what and who you're carrying into the church. Let me roll. Let me just roll real quick. See if they know Mr. Vanthempur. It would be in everyone's best interest if you quickly tell me why a Vanthempur is dead and within the halls of our church.
Well, as we explained before, when our daughter met with the fate we dealt with, um, we had to venture back there. We found this man there. He recruited us to help him in his endeavor, and was unfortunately killed during the battle.
All right. Oh no. He's just muttering to himself. It's like, what did you get yourself into? Now, what is it that you wish to accomplish by bringing them here? We can't exactly work that type of miracle like we did for your daughter again and again. It requires a expensive and hard to come by material component.
He was fighting his own battles. He seemed to understand what might happen to him. We have him here because there is a chance that information he possesses is very important for what we are accomplishing or attempting to accomplish. And at the very least, Zod said that you might be able to help us speak to him to gather that information.
Just double checking a couple things here. Okay. Then that is something that is within our capabilities if you wish to simply speak with the dead. Though we will require 5 gold for the cost of the incense that we must burn. Which, speaking of gold, off camera, we sold all of the loot. So the Moonleaf family does actually have a relatively sizable amount of money at this point, in which actually, if it was either Helena or Violet, Earl and I had discussed, some of that loot has a potentially negotiable cost. So yes, hello, Stu. Earl, if you want to go ahead and make a general persuasion check.
Yes, we will do that with.
See if you can get a little extra.
Can someone intimidate?
They are more than welcome to, but I don't know that you'll like the outcome.
That's fair. I think we're gonna let Violet actually potentially do this persuasion. Yeah, we got some minuses for some other family members. Oh no, Helena's doing that. Let's go with this one. It's gonna be a 12 plus 5 for 17.
17. Nice. All right. So initially we had said that you got 614 gold pieces after converting everything up. If you want to instead go ahead and put that at a nice even 630.
630 more gold. Excellent.
Not more. 630 total.
Well, I hadn't added it. Let me just make sure I had added none.
I just have them in the. We had put it in the bag of holding sheet for now.
That is probably smarter. Instead of 614, we're saying 630?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. 630 gold pieces. Do I still have the 2 red crystal vials, or are we considering those?
Yes. Because each vial has a potion in them, that is why you still have them. Yes.
Excellent.
You can attempt to identify either with an arcana, or you can bring them to somebody to identify them for you.
We'll have fun with that later. 5 gold. Then we'll hand over 5 gold.
Okay. Things to note that he already told you while he was alive. Mortlock felt that he was betrayed, that the assassins conspired with his brothers to kill him, that his family is paying the dead 3 cultists to murder people in the city, specifically to discredit the Flaming Fist, as a way to allow his mother to more easily become the next Grand Duke, because the current one is also the commander of all the Flaming Fists within Baldur's Gate, is missing because he went to Elturel, which you now know got dragged down to the 9 Hells.
Yes.
And that, and the last thing, is that if you had made it as far as you did, which you did, you've killed most of the leaders of the Dead 3 cult, with at least in this part of the city. Without them, the cult would break up into just smaller units, and they keep their treasure nearby, which is what you found in those Tiamat themed chests. So with that recap of info, you can see how long is the Speak with Dead ritual takes. Okay, so come up with your 5 questions that you wish to ask Mortlock.
Yep, we'll have Helena ask these questions.
Well, due to the nature of the spell,
We'll say she's relaying them to and from.
yeah, the cleric would
Yeah.
relay the questions.
We'll effectively bypass that for interest, I suppose.
Yeah. So you bring Mortlock, well, you lug him into a back room, and they set some incense around his head. Not super close, so he doesn't get further burned, but they start to burn the incense, and the cleric mutters under his breath the divine incantation for Speak with Dead. Looks to Helena. All right, he's ready. We have 5 questions to work with, though I can't say that he'll exactly be truthful. It's the nature of things.
Yep.
All right. You had information you said you were planning on sharing with us once we got out of there. What was that information?
The mouth opens, and you see the chest swell as if he's taking in a breath of air, like he was living. My brothers and mother wish to see you all dead for killing one of their men.
They see Violet's face go a little pale for a second. And Helena notices this and kind of puts a hand on her, and she adjusts herself and stands up.
where can we find them?
Let's see. One of my brothers, Amrik, that is Amrik, runs money lending out of a tavern, Low Lantern. He was always her favorite. My oldest brother, Thirstwell. I'm just gonna put that in chat. There's supposed to be a T there. After the S. Thirstwell. Uses imps as spies. He probably knows your faces since you've been to the bathhouse. He and Mother stay at the villa.
Okay. What we're doing in our hometown?
He said, what were they doing in our hometown?
Yes.
People in power want more power, more influence. Mother was no different. Heard of a former ring fighter of some renown. Sought to learn and maybe bring to our side. And you easily get the sense that he's talking about Bo.
You seem like you were willing to help us and that you were going to help us. Is there any particular information that will help us in dealing with your family and your mother?
Amrich is greedy. Thirstwell is weak of body. Mother would do anything for her two older boys, but not me. I think one more?
With your current situation. We promise we will do what we can for you to sort this out for you.
Was there a question in that? It sounded just like a statement.
The question was, is he
Sorry. Question was, is he okay with, being dead?
Let me go back to the Speak with Dead spell. Let's see. I do not know. And the chest deflates. And as that happens, the cleric, I'm sorry, the dead aren't actually here. The spirit isn't actually here, so they don't know answers to questions that require knowledge after their deaths.
understood? Well, thank you. Is there anything else we can do for you? You have been incredibly helpful.
Find somewhere to get rid of this. The Vanth Emperors are not. They're not religious. So, and you know that as you were coming to the church, it was getting to be nighttime. And so you do have a little bit of the cover of night to move the body where you see fit, I suppose is the best way to put it, within the city. We do, after all, get some funding from people within the upper city. So, it's best not to lose all of their favors.
Sure. I suppose that they will, there's no real city limit because everything's walled off, right?
Yeah. You're probably, I would say, down in this portion of the city. Like, there is a gate, but it's just to one of these smaller outer cities. Otherwise, the uncivil serpent is back on the dock.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna bring him to the boat.
Okay. Give me just a general group stealth check.
Okay. Well, let me just roll 4 of these here.
Ah, yes. Have you decided
I'm
who's
just going
what
in
color?
order. Bose is white, Helena's yellow, Violet's black, and Chant is brown. Ooh. Whoa, that's a range. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's not in there. Hold up.
Oh!
Okay, so that yeah. So that is Bo with a 4 plus 2. That's a 6. Helena rolling that natural 20 for a total of 24.
Okay.
Violet rolling a 9 plus 1 for 10, and Chant rolling a big ol' 2 plus 7 for 9.
So close, buddy. So close to double digits. How were you carrying him? Like, are you just like carrying him out in the open, or you?
Let's just like Weekend at Bernie's this thing.
Is anybody tall enough? Because he is a head taller than Bo.
No, Bo will just have him over his shoulder, and if anyone shows up and tries to say anything about it, he'll just, try to pass it off as he's carrying like a drunk friend.
Okay. Go ahead and give me. Somebody can give me a deception check. Just a straight roll.
I guess it would be Bo because he's the one lying, isn't he?
I mean, you
Or
are all
nice
as a group. I'm letting you pick.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take that.
Because you are, because you do have, everybody does have flaming fist emblems. So it could either be a drunk friend or.
Helena's going in. Wow, there's another natural 20 for a 26.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that'll do. There's only a couple people that really step up and like are like kind of questioning it, but Helena just flashes the badge and like gives them the cold shoulder, so she really plays the part of a Flaming Fist member, and you're able to get back to the uncivil serpent. And there are
Why do you
again,
say it like it's a tongue twister every time?
yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm hopeful somebody will rename it. But again, there are 4 hammocks below deck and 1 large bed in the captain's quarters. So there's plenty of room to for you all to sleep, as well as to somewhere to put Mortlock. The crew,
Sure.
it's just they stopped asking questions after you let them live when Helena looked at somebody and made them die.
Yeah, that happened. That's certainly true. Well, they'll get on the boat and say, do we have enough of us to take a short trip? Be coming
Well,
back by morning.
it depends on what you mean by a short trip. Normally, the ship does need about 20 hands. And you kind of killed most of them between here and apparently whatever happened to Deadeye and the people that he went with.
All right. I'm just talking a couple miles offshore.
We got a dinghy, and he points to just a little boat that you can row.
Do I think that Mortlock and Bo can fit on that boat?
Let's see. Yeah.
Okay. Well, once night falls, Bo will take Mortlock out, wait till he's not around other people, and he's not religious either, but will just kind of nod in understanding and let him into the ocean.
Okay. You go out. The Hyantha River does form this bay within the city, but it does fully go all the way out to the sort of the Sea of Swords. So you go out of the bay and just a little bit further down the river, and manage to roll him over the side and not capsize. And the body just kind of floats there for a second until you're like, oh, right. And then you give him back his great club and his heavy crossbow, which you can actually, almost like he had carabiners, you can connect them to him or, tie him off to him. And that weight is what eventually pulls him down.
Sure.
And you're able to get back in time for everyone to scrape together a meal and then rest for the evening. And when you all awaken, you feel a little bit more capable, a little stronger, almost like you hit level 3 after last session.
Yeah, we did.
Do you want to?
If anybody wants.
Do you want to real quick give the spark notes for podcast purposes? Just like archetypes, subclasses that you picked.
Yeah. Bo is going down out of Path of the Totem Warrior Barbarian, specifically the Spirit of the Bear, which, for anyone who doesn't know, will give him resistance while raging to all damage except for psychic, rather than just the bludgeoning, slashing, piercing that it normally does. Which is awesome. He also gained a new rage just on level up. He's sitting at a nice 38 hit points, not too shabby. Helena is actually going with a college that we hadn't looked into too much before, called the Greenleaf College, not the Greenleaf College. So we have that. She gains some neat stuff. When she uses her bardic inspiration now, the person she is healing also gains temporary hit points equal to the roll they make, which is pretty cool. Uh, like that one a lot. Jack of all trades. Oh, she already had that. Just some other things. She got picked up a new spell. We're working out of with some spells a lot of people will probably not know. As Kyle back to Real Fun Kickstarter. Uh, Lots and lots of spells. We'll save hers as a fun surprise when we get there.
Yes.
Violet. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that's the Deep Magic Kickstarter from Cobalt Press. Massive compilation of subclasses like the Greenleaf College, as well as so many spells. So many spells. Which we are trying out for our show.
Violet continuing down her shadow magic sorcerer path. Now has some meta magic to play around with, which is gonna be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
She took some good ones there. We'll again save some things for unveiling in the moment. And she picked up another spell as well, another one from that same deep magic book, which is super interesting, and I'm sure will come up very soon. And then in terms of Chant has taken the path of the Kensei monk. So the Kenku Kensei monk. And he doesn't have too much yet from that, but he will be gaining plenty of things along the way.
A lot of
Currently,
weapon specialty, right?
he has been able. Yes, he is specialized with the dagger that he has been using, and now also with a hand crossbow. So he will be purchasing one of those real soon here. Make sure we got that. And one other thing, he does have a feature called Kensei's Shot. Basically, can gain some extra damage when using certain weapons, as previously noted, especially from range.
Nice.
A few other things as well, but we'll get into all those as we go.
Yeah. So on this day, you have some destinations that have been named: the Low Lantern, the Vanthampur Villa, or you could do some shopping because you did sell some stuff, so you came into some cash. You also have those 4 spell books, one of which is locked and you have the key for. All of them which need to be identified if you want to know what's going on inside of them.
Yes. No one in the party can identify them. So, first things first is a little bit of shopping. Now that they are aware that someone is aware of their presence here, they think on it for a bit and realize there's probably not much they can do. They'll try to be a little more inconspicuous, but they are a family of turtles and a Kenku. They're going to stick out no matter how much they try to disguise themselves unless it's magical. So they'll probably just continue on being careful and doing their thing. First things first is some shopping. Bo is going to return back to the blacksmith and pay the rest of the money he needs to for his glaive there.
Yes.
So an additional 250, I believe we said.
Yep. So that puts you at a total of 400. So 250 gold, and you're fully paid off the 400 gold total.
And he's got a +1 now, right?
+1 glaive with an intricate vine pattern running up the haft and polearm portion.
Howdy doody. I will quickly just add a +1 to my things here. I would put that on it's the attack and damage, correct? I'm not mistaken
there is actually, if you are looking at the, do you have the weapon box drop down? There's a magic bonus. There's a magic bonus option that you can just put a 1 in, and it automatically applies it.
There's the magic bonus. Aha, great. Roll 20, y'all. All right, so that's better. That was another 250. Let me mark that off of our total here as we're going. Chant will purchase just a normal hand crossbow for now.
All right.
How much is that gonna run him there?
To the book. That would run you. Yeah. 75 gold.
75 gold. All right, we can do that. Sorry, I'm always forgetting that I can just add things together and roll 20. Here we go. Slash out. 250 plus 75. 6, 30. Sorry, getting there. All right, so we've still got 305 gold to work with after all that. In the party funds, they all have a little bit on their own too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I need to add that to chance sheet before I forget.
Mm-hmm.
Lots
All
going
good.
on. Violet is going to try to look for someone who can enchant things.
Okay.
Enchanter, arcane, some sort.
What type of enchantment are you looking to get done?
She is looking to enchant that skull. I believe we talked before about potentially giving an enchantment to make it a wand of the War Mage, or have those benefits.
Skull of the War Mage +1.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That would be lovely.
Let's see here. All right. So go ahead and give me a charisma check.
With Violet.
Yeah. Just to see if Violet can.
Oh, I clicked it in there. No, I'm gonna roll it. Ignore that. Ignore that.
Yeah.
It doesn't count. I'm rolling it. I said ignore it before I saw the roll. Promise. All right. She has a +3 to her charisma. It's a 14. 11 plus 3.
14. Okay. It takes a little bit, but you do find a shop called the Fox's Vault. And in the Fox's Vault, yes, it's a single-story stone-walled building with a smooth stone floor, and as she walks in, she looks up, and it looks like there's stars shining in because the ceiling is painted black, but there are glowing gemstones set within the ceiling. And sitting behind the counter with his feet kicked up on it, hearing the door open, a short male tiefling stands up. Why, hello. Welcome to the Fox's Vault. My name is Gildessa. What is it that we can assist you with today?
I like you. My name is Violet.
Violet. Lovely name.
Yes. Thank you. I have this.
And she pulls out the skull.
Uh-huh. Is the diamond inside of it? Alright, yeah, because it's embedded. It's embedded in the socket. Yep. One of the eye sockets.
Yes. Yes, one of the eye sockets.
That is a lovely conversation piece. What is it that you wish to have done?
I'd like to use it as a focus in terms of making spells. Magic.
A little more potent, make your enemies less likely to be able to hide.
And I like sounds great.
I'm hearing, like, maybe every other syllable, unfortunately. But, he does chime in with, I see. Looking to bolster your magical capabilities and make it harder for your enemies to hide. I mean, I do have Wands of the War Mage here that you could purchase, but if you're looking for this custom piece, seeing as you have the materials, I would need roughly 4 days time and 400 gold for the cost of this enchantment. All right. Again, technical difficulties being the an absolute joy, and the bane of our existence. But we are here. Violet was talking with a tiefling named Gildessa at the Fox's Vault, and he asked what she wanted. She's talking about wanting to enchant her skull that she flayed the flesh off of. Yinlin, he was an enabler. But you wanted to make it a Skull of the War Mage +1. And Gildessa informs you, I would probably need about 4 days' time, with the cost being a total of 400 gold. That is, of course, with a discount because you have provided the materials yourself.
I think I can handle that.
Helena's there with her,
Okay.
and Helena is going to pull out one of the books, whichever one looks the least like whatever's inside it's gonna hurt someone.
That would probably be Spellbook 1. That is
Yeah,
bound in red leather. Yes.
Yes. Okay. And she will.
You seem like someone who could help us identify some things.
Why, yes. It comes with the profession. Is that a spell book?
Well, appears to be so.
Are you
I
looking...
have some arcane knowledge, but nothing to tell me its true nature.
Yes, it's, we wizards, and he pulls out his own spell book. This one being, a rich, purple color, that actually matches some of these. I never described what he looked like. He's, stands probably like 5'10", real lithe figure, but he has these curved horns that go up and then back and then up again. And he has red skin with periodically little purple blotches running along his neck and down his arms, and this book matches that color. To identify, it is going to be a gold per object. Just the one book,
Okay.
or anything else?
We have a couple books.
You seem like the adventuring type.
We have 3 books.
I know they
Okay.
have 4. She is not pulling out the locked one.
He doesn't know, and he's none the wiser. Yeah.
I'm informing you that I know that I am
Mhm.
intentionally withholding one of them.
Yep.
And yeah, she'll give him 3 gold and ask for a little bit more info.
Okay. I am going to put just a... Let's see here. Oh, okay. The second... He looks at the second book, the one that has the personal rune. I'd wondered when that old fool would, his luck would run up. As he just runs his hand over the personal rune on the cover of the second book. And let's go ahead and do this. So, book 1 has the following spells inside of it. Burning Hands, Detect Magic, Disguise Self, Fog Cloud, Ray of Sickness, and Silent Image.
Right.
Sounds like somebody who's looking to be secretive or make a getaway. The second one here, if it belongs who I think it did, belonged to who I think it did. Yes, those all make perfect sense. Charm Person, Find Familiar, Identify, Magic Missile, and Sleep. And finally, this definitely looks like a book that belonged to a traveling wizard of sorts, due to the array of spells. We have Cloud of Daggers, Dark Vision, Detect Magic, Featherfall, Mage Armor, Magic Missile again, and Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
I missed one of those.
Cloud of Daggers, Dark Vision, Detect Magic again, Featherfall, Mage Armor, Magic Missile again, and Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Gotcha.
That is very useful. Thank you.
Are you looking to sell any of this?
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't exactly make use of it. My daughter here can't exactly make use of it either. Who is the owner of that book? You seem to know there, if I can ask.
Oh, just, a wandering wizard who made his way to Baldur's Gate and bragged about how he was quite capable and would be able to handle himself and would put on shows within the main marketplace plaza on the eastern edge of town. His name was Galden, but he lasted about as long as I thought he would within the city. And now, if you are looking to sell, I could take each of these books off your hands for price of 60 gold apiece.
I can't imagine a use for them, so... I'd say that's fair. Can they be part of the trade in a daughter's, endeavor?
Yes, that is certainly something that we can do. Are you looking to pay for all of it up front, or what? Or something else? Whatever you can...
seem trustworthy. We can do that.
Oh, wait,
How
thank
much
you.
on top of the books?
Still the cost of 400 gold, so that would leave us with 280. And he gives he gives you a fanged smile.
believe that's 220.
I apologize. I did my math incorrectly.
All right. Well, 220 with the $3 it is.
Now, your daughter has set up a custom project. Is there anything that you would be interested in, miss? And he looks to Helena.
Well, currently, I don't believe so. But you seem very helpful, and I'm very curious to see how your work turns out. Uh, and so we might be back. I do remember, sorry, I have one other thing that it would be great to know a little bit more about.
She pulls out the potions.
Ah,
Yes.
why, of course. And don't worry about the 2 gold. Actually, these 2 potions, and they are identical. Let's see here. There's actually a little thing here. These potions, you have to pop the cork off of them because they are like ruby crystal vials. But there's an orange liquid that flickers, and there's smoke that fills the top of the container and wafts out of the vials whenever they are opened. These are best not used where things are flammable. And he looks around his shop. Luckily, I am partial to stonework myself. You here have 2 potions of fire breath. Which, for those of you at home, basically, once you drink the potion, you can exhale fire at a target you can see within 30 feet of you. It's not a cone. You pick a target. They need to make it's only a DC 13 because it's a low tier potion. But they take 4d6 fire or half damage on a successful save. And the effect ends after you exhale fire 3 times or when 1 hour has passed.
Yep. They will leave the shop after the conversation and get partway down the street, and Violet will turn to her mother.
Oh no, I left something inside. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. I'll meet you at the ship.
Okay.
And Violet goes back inside and goes to him and says,
Can you identify one more thing for me?
For a returning customer, sure, of course.
she pulls out the bag of beans. Her mother does not know she possesses.
Yes. Oh. This. Is this something you're looking to sell? This is something I'm definitely interested in purchasing.
Honestly, it's gonna depend on what I can do.
It's a bit of a grab bag. It can do anything from making a campfire to sprouting a pyramid or a giant beanstalk that lead to nothing but trouble.
Her eyes get wide.
Yes. And everything in between. But again, there's no control over it, and some of the outcomes are less than ideal for adventurers that beg my pardon, but you haven't been doing it for very long, have you?
She smiles real wide and says,
Not in your best interest to plant any of these.
Unfortunately for you, the description you just gave of that item was a perfect description of me as well. I'm gonna hold on to him for now.
All right.
And she will.
If you're ever willing to part, I'm willing to buy. Price depending upon how many are left, of course.
How many beans or how many of us?
Beans, unfortunately.
She will make her way back. I think the shopping trip is finished here.
Okay.
They will. I mean, she'd like to pick up that before she gets herself into any more major scraps.
Yeah.
So I suppose they will scout out the area.
Okay. Are you looking to scout out the Vanthampur Villa or the Low Lantern?
They'll scout out the villa during the day, and they'll scout out the Low Lantern over the next few days because they have 4 days before that's finished.
Yes.
Okay, so one of those will make their way to the Low Lantern.
So you make your you end up having to ask Zaj about where the Vanthampur Villa would be located.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it is located in the upper city portion, behind another gate. And it is, this part of the city is much more heavily guarded. So use that information as you will. But you're able to, because they are the family is so well known, the villa's location is, you don't have to search for it. It's just, you're in the ritzy part of town.
Okay, and do we know the location of the... I
The
just said the name.
Low Lantern.
Okay.
That,
Low Lantern.
you will need to have somebody give me a charisma check to get some info.
Elena will make that check.
Alright. With
That
your...
is-
Was that a +5, +6?
Ooh, that's a 3 this time. This dice was nice earlier. Just a charisma check? It'd be a 4. So 3 plus 4, 7.
7. Alright, you walk up to some guy who's eating an apple because the DM wanted him to be more like an asshole.
Ah.
Hey, what do you want? He's just kind of like sizing up the turtle that approached him.
You ever heard of the Low Lantern?
What is that?
It's probably a no.
What is it? Sounds interesting.
I'm looking for it, so if you're unaware of it,
Actually, I need Chant to give me a intelligence check.
Okay. An intelligence check from Chant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a +2. So let's see. 5. Another 3.
Okay, never mind. But you go around and it takes you if you're, is Helena doing this by herself or
Probably by herself, yeah.
Okay. It's gonna take Helena a better part of the day to actually find somebody that can point her in the right direction. But
Okay.
is the rest of the family checking out the villa?
They're definitely scoping it out, but they're
Okay.
aware that this family knows they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Violet is nervous about it. And Bo knows he's not the most inconspicuous fella. So, they'll definitely like kind of just take a wide
Hmm.
arc around the gate.
So the gate, every gate, there are all these little gaps here. These are
Sure.
all gates. There are 20 guards of the City Watch at
Wow.
each of these gates.
20
So-
at each gate.
Yep.
Wow. Well, they'll
Then-
just kind of
They're vigilantly posted at every gate to the upper city, and they just watch as anybody goes anywhere. Just looking over your group, looking over the rest of the folks. Do you do anything now that you see there's
They're
that
just-
many?
Well, they're just taking like honestly, they're just taking a long perimeter walk around the gate.
So the
Just
entire
take a
like
look at the city.
the perimeter of the
portion.
upper city.
Yeah. at
So
least
not
part of it.
so you're not going to go into the upper city necessarily.
Well, the upper city is surrounded by the gate. Yes.
But yeah, surrounded by another wall and multiple gates.
Yeah.
Or do you want to
Um,
go in?
Yeah. Bo will walk up, and we'll just see what they make of him as he approaches.
As they approach, stop right there. You have to pay the gate toll, 2 gold, or 2 copper pieces to get in. And Chant and Bo, he has a cape over just because it is a little windy, and you can see every now and then from the fluttering of the wind, or the blowing of the wind, his cape flutters, and you see the mark of the flaming fist underneath his cloak.
Sure. Bo will flash the badge.
I'm sorry, sirs. And, ma'am, please go ahead.
Thank you. Zod sends his regards.
All right.
Yeah, they'll walk.
And you go in. You're able to ask around, or not, you don't ask around. You are able to make your way towards the Vanthampur Villa. And let's see. And from what you can make out, this villa is a stately stone edifice with a detached stable house. Both buildings have sloped rooftops covered in red clay tiles, as there's also and there's a 12-foot high stone wall that encloses the entire villa. There's lanterns that hang. Just as you're walking here, going throughout the day. If you wait till about dusk, you do see there are glows of lantern light coming up from over the walls, as it seems these lanterns are lit at dusk, and then you probably assume is extinguished as dawn starts to illuminate the yard. And from what, as you just scout out the space, give me a group stealth check just to be as inconspicuous as you can.
Okay.
But you
Elena's
do
not with them, so.
no.
Oh boy. Well, Bo rolled a 2 on the die,
Uh-oh.
or a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Violet rolled pretty well, 16 plus 1 for 17, and Chant, I believe, is a plus 7, but he rolled a 7, so it's a 14.
Nice.
Not bad.
There are guards. You find there are 3 wooden gates. One that you could tell to be the main entrance, and a coach gate to the south, and then there's a postern gate to the north. These wooden doors are the villa's wooden doors and lead-framed windows. Just are all closed from what you can tell, but there are guards that patrol either along the wall outside, or even as one rounds the corner off to the right, you hear some more footsteps just on the other side of the wall. So it seems like there's more guards within the yard, or within the wall.
Okay. Lots of guards. They'll just, yes, take in as much information as they can. They're not going to try to go in right now.
Yeah. And again, as the guard rounds the corner, almost kind of like wiping the sleep from his eyes, another guard just he slowly rounds the corner from the left. So it seems like they're on a constant patrol.
Seems like we're going to need to be clever to get in here. Or we're going to need to make a fuss and get brought here. What do you think, kids?
Dad, you know it's only gonna be a fuss, right?
Bo just smiles. They've got what they've seen. They're not looking for any action right now, so they'll head back.
Yeah. As it gets to just past dusk and you start making your way back to the Uncivil Serpent, Helena finds out where the low lantern is. It is actually in the your ship is parked in the northern part of the harbor. The low lantern is actually a boat that runs business out of it, parked or stationed right at the most closest to the city as it can, part of the harbor, part of the docks. And
Okay.
as she approaches, the low lantern is an aging 3-mast merchant ship permanently docked on the east side of the harbor. Far past the point of being seaworthy, the vessel has since been converted into a tavern and gambling house that is open all day and night. And does she go in?
She'd wait for the family.
Okay. And you can just barely make out the sound of dice, so it seems like Baldur's Bones is just as popular here as it is in the other taverns throughout Baldur's Gate.
Uh-oh.
So, knowing this information about both locations,
Yep.
what do you want to tackle first?
Oh, definitely the boat.
Okay. Do you wish to do this today, or do you want to have some downtime because you did put in a custom order?
Oh, they're gonna wait till she has her thing.
Okay. Then both Helena meets up with everybody else back at the Uncivil Serpent, and you're able to go about the rest of your evening, spend some time going about town. You should have a little bit of coin left to spend if you wanted to get more potions or of any kind. But I think now that you've done a little bit of investigating, done a little bit of shopping, and have a clear-cut direction that you want to go in next, I think we'll call it there.
Okay. Shopping episode, y'all.
An investigation also. Yeah, you got
No,
a
it's
little
good.
investigating.
What's wrong with the shopping episode?
Nah.
It's all right. Yes, they're learning info. Yeah, they'll pick up like 2 potions of healing. They get a discount, or they just 50 each.
50 each. You can actually head back to the Fox's Vault and see Gildessa. He's more than willing to take your money. And depending on who goes in, if it's Violet, he eyes her again, just like, are you sure you don't want to sell that? I can take that off your hands.
Oh, yeah. She's not selling that.
Let me make one check just to see if he can resist the temptation.
Oh.
Okay, let me check one book. Because I can never remember the price. I keep saying I'll put the Xanathar's Guide to Everything rollable table for magic item costs, but no, I never do. Let's see. Where are you? Okay, just out to the downtime section. There we go. Ooh, okay.
What's up?
Yeah. He does pull Violet aside and makes her an offer.
Okay.
The dice land where they land. 4,500 gold for the beans.
Okay.
Because the bag of beans are a rare magical item.
Yeah.
And technically a consumable. So, they're already half cost, and I rolled almost max. And when you sell, the shopkeep tends to only offer half. At most.
Still not bad.
Not bad for...
Alright, what if you let me keep one?
Well, if you take it out of the bag, then it's no longer magical. It can't be separated for very long. You could potentially plant one somewhere in the city and see what it does, though then I would only be able to offer you 4,000. Wait, I mean, yeah.
I don't think this session is over, Kyle. I think we have one more thing to roll before we go.
3,900. Or 3,850. I'm doing
Yeah,
individual bean tossed.
I'll be back in like an hour.
Alright, do you have a percentile and do you have a percentile die?
I have percentile die.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna D10. She will go. Is there like a park? Or
I will yes, but
she'll
it's
she'll go outside of the city.
that will take a little bit of time because you have to go all the way to the outer. You've got 4 days of downtime. You can you can go out to this outer portion of the city and the western or eastern side. We can say that. Go ahead and roll your percentile die as you plant a bean. Roll low.
Fun.
Yeah.
That would just be 12, right?
Let me see.
10 and a 2.
Yes.
Yep. So that's low. Low doesn't necessarily mean anything, though.
You plant the bean and put the soil over top of it, and you wait. And you kind of get a little disappointed. However, after a little bit, there's...
Oh, no.
The ground begins to swell, and this reddish purple liquid starts to come up out of the ground. Before this geyser shoots 30 feet up in the air for... roll a d12 for me.
11.
For 11 rounds, so over a minute,
Yep.
a geyser of berry
Yep.
juice just starts spraying into the air.
Okay. She will,
Bunch of kids come over with buckets. There's a crotchety old man who makes his way over and like holds up a flask, sips it, slams the flask on the ground, picks it up, wipes it off, but just dumps out the juice because he was hoping for something else.
Yeah, she's very intrigued, but realizing that the money would be incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
She'll go and sell she'll go and sell them, I guess.
Okay. So 3,850 gold.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
She'll explain that to her mother somehow.
we'll get to that next time, as she doesn't have a bag of holding, and she comes back with a large coin purse that's filled to the brim.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a good place to stop. She just holds it up.
I came across this today. No, but all right. Thank you everyone who tuned in. Thank you for putting up with our technical difficulties today. We are not sure what happened, but hopefully we've sorted everything out.
Fine. My computer was just mad.
But, did you find out when folks are coming down? Are we going to be able to play?
They're gonna be here on Saturday, so we can do our thing on Sunday. It's fine.
Okay, so not
I don't know about
tomorrow Sunday, but
yeah,
next Sunday we'll be able to we'll be back to our normal 1 o'clock time.
Yep.
And keep an eye out for that notification. Keep an eye out for when the podcast drops next week. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.